If you're the kind of person who loves knowing exactly how the world around you actually works, well, you are absolutely in the right place. In this explainer, we're going to unravel the hidden, underground plumbing that protects our homes, our streets, and our waterways. Honestly, it's this vast, engineered world right beneath our feet, and it's way more complex than most of us realize.
I mean, think about this for a sec. Do you actually know where the water goes when a massive thunderstorm hits your neighborhood versus where it goes when you flush your toilet or empty your kitchen sink? You know, a lot of people just assume all our drains eventually lead to the exact same place, like one giant underground pipe doing all the heavy lifting. But as we're going to see today, that's a massive misconception, and it's one that has some really serious consequences for our health and the environment.
Okay, so let's dive right into this. Here's our roadmap for today. First, different systems. Second, how storm drains work. Third, inside the sanitary sewer. Fourth, the danger of mixing. And finally, number 5, protecting waterways.
All right, Section 1, different systems. 2 separate networks.
To really get this, we need to completely separate these two pipelines in our minds. On one side, you've got the storm drains. Their main job, capturing precipitation and surface runoff. Now on the other side, you have the sanitary sewers, and these are entirely dedicated to collecting human and industrial wastewater. So, two completely distinct pathways, built for two completely different sets of challenges.
Moving on to Section 2, how storm drains work, capturing the rain.
Whenever we get heavy rainfall or, rapid snowmelt, this is the system that springs into action. The water flows off our roofs, down the driveways, and along the curbs until it hits catch basins and culverts. Now, the absolute key here is speed. This network is engineered specifically for sudden storm surges. It takes all this incoming water, which at first glance is generally considered cleaner because it's just precipitation, and it moves it incredibly fast through pipes and retention areas. Usually, it's a direct route straight to local lakes, rivers, or bays. And here's the kicker. It does this with limited to absolutely no treatment whatsoever. No filtration, just straight into nature.
But, as our source text clearly points out, however, stormwater is not always pollution-free. There's a real irony here. The water falling from the sky might start out perfectly clean, but its high-speed journey across our concrete jungles? Yeah, that changes its chemical makeup significantly. Just think about what that runoff is picking up along the way. We're talking street sediment, heavy lawn fertilizers, motor oil and grease washed right off the asphalt, and pet waste and other debris. And because this storm system is designed purely for flood control, not for treating water, this kind of toxic soup often totally bypasses any sort of filtration. So all these surprising pollutants, they go straight into our receiving waters and local ecosystems.
Okay, Section 3, inside the sanitary sewer, wastewater management. Let's flip over to the other half of our underground world.
This is the network that's actually connected to the inside of your home or business. Every single time you flush a toilet, take a shower, run the kitchen sink, or when a factory runs its industrial processes, that water goes straight into the sanitary sewer. And by definition, this water inherently contains serious contaminants, harmful pathogens, basically raw sewage. It's a massive public health hazard if it's left unchecked.
And because of those extreme hazards, the whole point of this system is strict, zero-compromise containment. The engineering goal here isn't just to move water away quickly, it's to transport hazardous materials under highly controlled conditions directly to a dedicated treatment plant. Once it's there, it goes through intense disinfection, and all those harmful materials are meticulously removed long before that water is ever allowed anywhere near a natural environment.
Which brings us to Section 4, the danger of mixing, when systems cross.
So, what actually happens when these strictly separated pathways accidentally merge? Well, our source uses a specific technical term for this: inflow and infiltration. Basically, as our underground infrastructure ages, pipes inevitably crack, joints get leaky, so when a huge storm hits, all that fast-moving stormwater sneaks into the sanitary sewer lines through those exact vulnerabilities. Or, honestly, sometimes it gets in through pipes that were just improperly connected in the first place.
Just picture the sheer volume of a heavy torrential storm. Now imagine all of that sudden water volume invading the highly controlled, strictly contained sanitary system, a system that was literally never sized to handle a thunderstorm. What do you think happens when all that pressure builds up?
You get the absolute worst-case scenario. The treatment capacity at the plant is instantly overwhelmed. The water literally has nowhere to go but backward. We're talking raw sewage backing up directly into people's basements, bubbling up through maintenance hole covers, right onto the streets. It even forces treatment plants to make emergency discharges of totally untreated wastewater into rivers just to relieve the massive pressure.
It is a complete infrastructure failure.
And if we flip the scenario, the results are just as bad. Let's say someone illegally or just accidentally connects a basement drain or a sewage ejector pump into the storm drain system. That means raw wastewater completely bypasses the treatment plant. It flows directly into our lakes and rivers, degrading the water quality, sparking toxic algal blooms, causing foul odors, and creating severe health risks for the local ecosystem and really the whole community.
All right, Section 5, protecting waterways, preventing problems.
Look, I know it sounds incredibly bleak, but thankfully we are not helpless here. On the municipal side, cities are constantly taking proactive steps to fight inflow and infiltration. They're regularly inspecting the sewer infrastructure with these specialized cameras. They run tests specifically looking for those dangerous cross-connections where the systems might mix. They invest heavily in repairing deteriorating pipes, and they work really hard to provide clear public drainage guidance. That way, contractors and homeowners know exactly what the rules are during renovations.
But the responsibility doesn't just fall on the city. It absolutely falls on us too. As property owners, following local rules for basement drains is critical. And you know what a huge issue is? Sump pumps. If a homeowner incorrectly hooks their sump pump into a sanitary line, instead of routing it outside, they are literally pumping hundreds of gallons of clean rainwater right into the sewage system, creating entirely avoidable strain during a storm. So properly managing your roof downspouts and foundation drainage to keep that water where it belongs in the storm system is a massive part of the solution.
So the crucial takeaway here is this. Respecting these separate engineered pathways is vital. Keeping the storm drains and the sanitary sewers totally distinct supports much cleaner water in our environment, it prevents horrific sewage backups in our homes, and it builds much more reliable storm resilience for the future. And with extreme rainfall becoming a way more common occurrence globally, maintaining that resilience has literally never been more important.
Which leaves us with something I really want you to think about. We've seen exactly how these hidden systems operate and exactly what happens when they fail. So, the next time it pours outside and you see the water rushing down your driveway, I want you to ask yourself, are you absolutely sure your property's runoff is going to the right place? Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep asking questions about the world around you.